Okay, so do you remember last Monday we were talking about what? What reading strategy were we talking about with the video?
Um,
We made a what based on text evidence and our background knowledge?
uh,
An inference? Do you remember? So we made an inference, right? So when we watched the video, we made an inference based on what we saw and what we know, right? So remember, an inference is something that is not said by the author. It doesn't say it right out, right? It doesn't say it outright. It's something that we just make an inference about. Okay? So, sometimes the authors do not always state all the information in the book, right? Or the text. Sometimes, as a reader or watching a movie, you have to make an inference to determine more information. So, we are actually going to be reading this short story. Remember, we have our graphic organizer to help us make inferences. What I read, what I know, and we can make an inference. We're going to be reading this short story called MVP. Do you remember we previewed the vocabulary on Monday? Remember we read through some of the basketball terms? This is about a character, and he is wanting to be the MVP of his team. Do you remember what I told you MVP was?
a good player, a better player.
The most valuable player, right? So that means that's the character that, or that's the team player that did the most, right? He got the most recognition. We're actually going to be making inferences about the character's development through the text. Do you know what character development means?
No.
No. So it's how the character changed from the beginning to the end. Okay? So we're going to be making inferences about how he changed and maybe why he changed. Does that sound good? Okay. So I want you to pay attention to the character and notice how the character is acting as we read. Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and start reading. So this text, we're going to see how you do with it. Okay. Do you want to scoot forward with your legs under the table? Okay. So let's go ahead and start with the title and start reading right here.
MVP by Claire.
By Claire Mishiga.
The red number on the clock showed that there was one
Quarter
left in the game. It just enough.
8
8 minutes. One team would win the
7th grade.
7th grade championship.
Awesome, yeah.
The score was tied at 24.
Okay, so what do we know so far?
That their high score was 25, and the red clock means like they only have 8 minutes.
Okay, so what grade is he in?
8th grade.
7th?
Oh, 7th grade.
He's in 7th grade and he's playing a basketball game. And the two teams are what?
Championship.
So they're playing for the championship and they're tied, right?
Yeah.
So you know what that means that they're tied?
That means they have the same amount.
They have the same amount of points, right? And there's only 8 minutes left in the game. So it's building up some tension, huh? Sweaty
team
huddled
around
Coach Sanchez.
Sancho passed it around and don't get boxed. And he warned when you're open shut.
Shoot.
Open your open shoot.
Is this text maybe a little too difficult? It's kind of hard, huh?
A little.
A little bit, huh? So that's okay. When things get hard, that's okay. So I see that maybe we're struggling just a little bit with some of the words. Are you okay if I read it and you listen? Will that be better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So come closer so I can see it. Okay, that's good. I have to move this. Just make sure you're not in it. Okay. So remember, they're huddled around. They're gathered together.
They're playing what's it?
So he's telling him, last 8 minutes, when you're open, shoot the ball, right?
Like they're telling what to do, so they like when they have a plan.
Yeah, so they're making a plan. Excellent. We stuck our hands into the middle and said, "Go Eagles!" Back on the floor, Brandon had the ball. I was open, but he passed it to Cole. Cole had a great turnaround jump shot, but I was a good shot too. In fact, we each had 6 points so far. But Cole was more popular, and the team fed him the ball, or gave him the ball. So right there, what do we know about the character so far? Does he sound? How is he feeling so far?
Mom?
Yeah. So what did we read that makes you think the character is kind of upset?
That he's I don't know.
He didn't get the ball.
Oh,
Did he?
To give him to the other team?
Yeah. So under what I read, we could probably write that he didn't get the ball.
How do you spell D-I-D?
D-I-D. Not. N-O-T.
Not get.
Get. Good. So he did not get the ball. And he's saying that, well, I have the same number of points as Cole. Why is he getting the ball, right? So have you ever been in that situation? What do you know about that? When someone got something that you felt like you should have too?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Like mad.
Mad, right?
Because I remember my sister, we were somewhere at a place and I was behaving good and my sisters were playing around, but somehow my sisters got we went to McDonald's and we wanted to go order food, and I said, my sister said, can I get order the McFlurries? My sisters somehow got one, but not me.
Okay, and
I had to get one tomorrow.
How did that make you feel?
Like mad because they weren't behaving good, but I'm the one who was just sitting down and saying,
yeah. So was it maybe unfair? It wasn't fair,
yeah.
Right? So that's how our character is feeling right now. See, you made an inference from what you read and your background knowledge. You made the inference that he's probably feeling like it's unfair and he's probably getting upset, huh? Okay.
Fair.
F-A-I-R. Okay, so we wrote one inference. And so from here on out, we're just going to talk about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you to listen and pay attention to how the character is changing. The Kings, which is the other name of the basketball team, took possession of the ball, or they grabbed the ball, and tied the score. Then Cole was fouled. You remember we talked about what a foul was? He broke a rule. He got in trouble. And sank his 2 free throws. That added 2 points to our team's score and to the score in my head. It shouldn't have mattered, but for once, I wanted to outscore Cole. I wanted to show the team that I could be the MVP, the most valuable player. So, what do we know about the character so far?
That he wants to be an MVP and he wants to score more points than what's his name?
Than Cole.
Than Cole.
Right, excellent. The Kings dribbled down, but Jeff stole the ball and threw a long, hard pass to me. I saw Cole running toward the bucket, but no one was guarding me either. I dribbled. You know dribble?
Yeah, like basketball, close in the floor.
Yeah, I dribbled in and shot. The ball swished through for 2. So did he make the shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, it swished through the net, right? Cole slapped my hand. Good shot, Derek. So what's the character's name? Derek. So Cole's telling him, good job. Thanks, I said. I didn't worry about whether or not I should have passed the ball. Cole had his fair share of chances. The score bounced back and forth. Eagles 30, so they're the Eagles. Kings 32. Eagles 35. Kings 34. The score in my head kept bouncing too. Derek 8, Cole 10, Derek 12, Cole 11. So, instead of paying attention to what the teams are scoring, he's paying attention to what?
He's paying attention to the people that are trying to get the ball away from him to score on their.
Yes. So Cole, that's an important thing to know.
There's 2 basketball courts?
No, there's one. Keep in mind that Cole and Derek are teammates. But for some reason, Derek feels like he's in a competition with him. Right? So instead of paying attention to what his team and the other team are scoring, he's thinking about what he's scoring and what his teammate is scoring. Why? What does he want to be?
MVP.
The MVP. So what do you think he feels like he has to do to be the MVP? If he's paying attention to how many points he's getting versus Cole, he thinks he needs what to be the MVP?
Help.
He thinks he needs to score the most points, right? Okay. I ran down the court trying to guard my man. I jumped straight up as he shot, and my hand knocked the ball just enough to send it off the blackboard. Cole got the rebound and dribbled down the court. He passed the ball to me and ran under the basket. I ignored him and shot, but the ball bounced off the rim. So why wouldn't Derek pass the ball to Cole? He's his teammate. Why wouldn't he want him to score?
Because he wants to be the MVP and he wants to score more points than him.
Yeah. So is he being a very good teammate? No. What? Go ahead.
He just wants to be an MVP and he's not even letting the other people have the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't, sometimes when people are trying to if we don't pass the ball, if you keep on having to try to shoot it, they will hit it too and knock it down, and the other team will grab it and then they will shoot it.
Yeah, so sports and basketball are like a team effort, right? Everyone needs to play as a team to win. So, but he's not. He's more focused on himself, right? So let's see how that turns out for this.
Oh, I know why he was thinking about his team.
Why?
It's because he just wants. They're looking at his team, look how many score, and they want to see oh no, that they're getting more. He's better shooting. So I want to be an MVP. I want to shoot more than him.
Yes, that's an excellent connection. Yes. So, how would you describe the character, Derek, in the beginning of this story? What would you say?
He was
If you could say like
He
a
was not thinking about the MVP. He was just playing, and then he wants to be an MVP, like a better basketball player.
Yeah. So if we could think of like a personality trait, you know what a personality trait is?
No.
Like someone who's nice or funny or mean or like an emotion. You could think of a trait or an emotion. How would you describe Derek in the beginning of this story?
Emotion.
What emotion does he have?
Mad.
He's kind of mad, huh? He's wanting to score. Okay.
Yeah.
Cole was open, said Jeff. So was I muttered, but I felt rotten inside. Ooh, so is he feeling good about himself right now? No. Hey, it's no big deal, said Cole. We're all trying to win this game. We're a team. So Cole has a kind of a different attitude.
No.
Yeah?
He has a nice attitude.
He has a nice attitude, and Derek has what?
A mean attitude.
A mean attitude. It happened fast. Cole was on the floor holding his ankle, his face twisted with pain. Oh. Coach Sanchez was there in a second. We'll put some ice on it, he said. You're done playing. Cole nodded. Then Coach helped him to the bench. So what happened to Cole?
He's not playing because his ankle is hurt.
He got hurt, so Cole's out. Everyone cheered for Cole, and I felt my heart hammer in my ears. Now I was going to be the MVP without a doubt. So if his heart's beating real fast, what can we infer about how he's feeling?
I mean, he's happy.
He's excited, right?
That's mean.
Yeah, so Cole's out. Is he worried about Cole?
No.
No, he's more worried about what?
Like the MVP basketball player.
Yeah, being the MVP. We were up by 4. That means they were winning by 4 points. Brandon took the ball down and passed it to me. I jumped up to shoot from the side, but suddenly 2 King players were guarding me instead of 1. I lost the ball. Yeah. The Kings dribbled down and passed the ball to one of their key players. Cole had held him to just 4 points. Justin, Cole's substitute, couldn't move as fast, and the King player scored. So because Cole's out of the game, what's happening?
That they're losing.
They're losing. You can do it.
Cole was a good basketball player.
He was, wasn't he? You can do it, Cole shouted from the bench, but it didn't look good. So is Cole encouraging his teammates? He is. So he has a pretty good attitude. Every time I got the ball, the Kings double teamed me. So double team means like there's 2 players on him, right? They figured that with Cole gone, they could shut me down and win. Cole had helped divide their attention before, and he'd guarded one of their best shooters. I never thought about how much that helped my game. So what is the character realizing?
That he's now like he should have gave the basketball to Cole, and so he could have scored and they would get more points, but instead the King are getting more points than them.
Yeah.
And they're losing.
So he's kind of changing, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's realizing that Cole was actually what?
A good player.
An
MVP.
He was a good player, and he was helping him, right? Now that Cole's out, he's like, oh no, maybe Cole was actually working with me and helping me. Now we were down by 1, which means they're losing. Our school had a shot at its first championship, but time was running out. All of a sudden, more than anything, I wanted our team to take home the trophy. So what is he? First, he wanted to be the MVP.
But he wants their team to take the trophy, not him.
Yeah, so he's kind of changing. He's more focused on his team now, right?
Does he want it to take them, or doesn't want it?
So first he was just focused on himself being the MVP. Now he's focused on his whole team, and he just wants his team to win. Time out, called Coach Sanchez, and we ran off the floor. We need points, guys, said Coach as we crowded around him. Get it to Brandon, I blurted out, which means he just said it real fast. They're leaving him open when they double team me. Everyone looked at Brandon. He hardly ever shot. Give it a try, said Coach. How did the character change right there? Was he saying give the ball to me, or was he saying give the ball to someone else?
Someone else.
Someone else. That's a big change, right? At first he wanted the ball all to himself. And now
he wants to give it to somebody else.
Yeah. I took the ball down the court. 2 Kings boxed me in, leaving Brandon wide open. I faked a shot and bounced past the ball to him. He caught it and hesitated, so he's kind of nervous. Shoot, I shouted. Brandon let it fly right into the bucket. We won by 1 huge point as a buzzer sounded. The gym exploded with cheers. We were all jumping around when I spotted Cole on the bench. Hey, I said, great game.
Here's the next ending.
So, we saw a lot of character development, right? You too, said Cole, slapping my back. Great idea to pass it to Brandon. Congratulations.
If we didn't do it, they would lose.
Yeah. Look what he says. Congratulations on getting MVP. I've been waiting a long time to hear those words, but they didn't seem so important now. Thanks, I said. It was a team effort, and I finally understood just what that meant. So Derek has some character development across this story. Yeah, it could be Derek. So I want us to think, if you could make an inference, what did the character learn? What did Derek learn?
Right, he should never think about his stuff and think about his other teammates.
Yeah, so Derek learned in order for them to win,
he gotta work as a team.
He needed to work as a team, didn't he? So how did his relationship with his team impact his character development? Do you think that maybe he started caring more about his teammates, so it made him change?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did your thinking change about the character?
I thought he was gonna still be mean and like score himself, but he changes.
Oh, so at first you thought he was mean, right? At the beginning. What did you think of him at the end of the story?
Now he's nice.
Now he's nice, and he realized what?
He should never think about himself, but think about others.
Think about others. Excellent. So we made a couple of really good inferences about Derek, right? Excellent. So I want you now, you're going to give me a little writing sample. Very simple. I have these pre-prepared sentence stems. So you're going to say, in the beginning, my character was, and you're going to tell me how you thought he was.
Because he was mean.
You think he was mean? Maybe is there a better word?
No, nice.
In the beginning?
No, the fight. Wait, the starting?
In the beginning, yes, at the start. At the start of the story. He was mean, and what's another word for someone who only thinks of themselves? Right here, baby.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of the word selfish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It means like he wants it all by himself.
Yeah.
How do you spell selfish?
How do you think? S-L-A-E-L fish. F-I-S-H. Okay. Because, so what, we're going to use our text evidence or something that you pull from the text to support your opinion or your inference. So what can we say from the text that proved that he was selfish at the beginning?
He was having the ball and not passing it to other people.
Perfect. Write that down.
He was, right here or here?
Right here, because. So this is where your text evidence starts.
Was W-A-S.
I want you to spell it the best you can.
And he was having an essay having.
Go ahead, baby. However you think.
Okay. Then
Okay. So you said he was selfish because he was having the ball, right? He wasn't passing it. Now, at the end of the story, my character was what? How did the character change?
nice.
Nice. Yeah,
And because he wait passing. So there's a
Passing.
S.
Okay.
Passing the ball.
Nice. So he was nice, and so he went from selfish to being more of a what?
Huh?
Would you say he was more
Wait.
as a team player, huh? Yeah. So he realized he needed his teammates. Is that what you told me? Excellent. Excellent. So we made some really good inferences. I thought you did an excellent job listening to that story and drawing inferences from the text. Okay. Excellent. So let's see.
Do you have time
Have time for what?
to watch the movie? The video?
To watch the video, we have one more little thing that we're going to do. Now that we've talked about making inferences, I want you to write me just a quick little definition of what it means to make an inference in your own words. If you had to tell a friend how to make an inference, what would you say what an inference is?
A change?
Is it a change? So an inference, remember, we have two parts to an inference. What you read, what you know,
And make an inference.
make an inference. So if you had to say that in your own words, what's an inference?
I would say inference is I don't know. Wait, inference are how the characters view or change.
Okay, so that's just a topic you could make an inference on. Would you say an inference is like a guess, an educated guess, or your opinion? Does the author tell you what the inference is, or do you need to guess?
I need to guess.
You need to guess, right? So keeping that in mind, how would you put that in your own words?
I don't know. Wait, how do I put in my own words?
Would you say it's a guess? Just write another word for inference.
How do you go? Oh.
Okay.
Guess.
Is it just like a random guess, or do you have to use certain things to make it?
Things.
What do you have to use?
What I read and what I know.
Perfect. So maybe we can write that down.
Well, wait.
Perfect.
So what I read and what I know.
Yes, perfect. So you can make an inference about anything. It doesn't have to be about the character. We just focus on the character today. Does that make sense? Okay,
Can we
perfect.
watch the movie?
I don't know if we have time.